There's always the chance that there could be a breakthrough this week. There are officials in the government in South Korea that are talking about the possibility that President Trump and Kim Jong Un could finally sign an agreement to end the decades-long Korean War, which has only been in a ceasefire since the 1950s, never really ended. But it's expected that most of the progress here is going to be incremental. The president pursuing 4 goals in his talks with Kim, the so-called 4 pillars: establishment of new relations, a lasting and stable peace, complete denuclearization of the Korean Peninsula, and recovering POW MIA remains. The most important thing for the president, he says, is to develop a relationship with Kim. The idea is that if the two leaders have an open and ongoing dialogue, progress can be built from there. Listen to what the president said last night at the Governors Association dinner.
It's a very interesting thing to say, but I've developed a very, very good relationship. We'll see what that means. But he's never had a relationship with anybody from this country and hasn't had lots of relationships anywhere.
The president's critics, though, say that he needs to get more from Kim than the last summit. While North Korea has not fired a missile or tested a nuclear weapon in more than a year, they have also not taken any concrete steps toward dismantling their nuclear program. In a letter to the president, Senate Democrats wrote, quote, "We believe your next meeting with Kim thus must demonstrate tangible, verifiable progress on denuclearization and reducing tensions with the North." But the president is willing to give it time, believing that building trust will reduce tensions and ultimately yield results. Listen here again, the president.
I'm not pushing for speed, but we're not removing the sanctions. And we're going to have, I think, a very interesting 2.5 days in Vietnam.
The president is also continuing his sales pitch to Kim that North Korea's economy can flourish if it chooses to end its isolation. Teeing up his speech to the Governors Association this morning, the president tweeting, quote, "With complete denuclearization, North Korea will rapidly become an economic powerhouse. Without it, just more of the same. Chairman Kim will make a wise decision." Talking to the governors just a few minutes ago, the president said he thinks he's going to have an incredible summit. The president will be leaving for Hanoi in the noon hour. Chairman Kim left for this summit on Saturday. He is traveling from Pyongyang in an armored train 2,500 miles through the Chinese countryside, and then when he gets to the border between China and Vietnam, he'll get into a motorcade and drive the final 105 miles. An interesting way to get here. He flew, by the way, Eric, aboard Air China 747 that the Chinese provided for him in last year's summit to Singapore. But this time, he decided to take the train.